Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially welcome you here to Team Fortress TV, where we have a game going live, and it is a game in Division 1 of ETF2L Season 15, week number 2 to be 100% precise, and it is obviously sponsored by Blackout Gaming. Furbo Pandas in the blue going up against Did I Stutter in the red with Pledge and Spin casting. Spin, what do you see so far?
So at the moment we've just got two soldiers from Furbo Pandas just roaming around on the bottom trying to wait for the bomb. Zoop comes in onto Funkadelic, takes the pick on the demo, which is a great pick from him. They've cleaned up quite a few players, but it's just coming down to DM now as the sort of end of the middle fight comes around, and there's just one scout remaining. Picks off the medic, actually. It's a fantastic play from Buttnose, so he takes the medic down for Furbo Pandas, and that sort of equalises things going on to second. They're going to be able to take second point, I imagine, but I can't see them pushing on to last with the small advantage that they have.
They have a Devilman double scout here on second, probably going to secure that, no problem. Oh, we're going to see Did I Stutter. They're going to walk in there, they're going to see if they can get some damage done. Yes, they do get it blocked, and they have a lot of players that actually did not take a close look at the spawns, but if they can pick off one, maybe two players, that'll be okay, but they don't manage to pick off anyone, with both scouts barely living out of that one. But Rock 17 HP, and Furbo I think took a med pack and was 50 HP. He barely got out of that one, but both teams, medic still alive, massive Uber advantage here in favor of Did I Stutter. And even though that middle didn't go as well as they planned for them, that kill from Buttnose on the Shifty proves very valuable if this push succeeds.
Yeah, indeed. I'm really impressed actually that they made that push onto second. The sort of aggressive defense is the kind of thing we see from teams like Epsilon, but we don't often see so much in the Division 1 teams. They tend to be a bit more hesitant and they don't like to push on, especially when it was that close to being capped. So I'm very impressed. It's like a good start from them, you know. They had a little bit of shaky midpoint, but yeah, they come back strong on that second, just to hold second, and yeah, very, very impressive play.
Very well done by them. So far, you see Linus and the double scout just holding that big door area. They see them come. They had no idea about like the clear advance that they got, maybe 10%, something like that. And it looks like against a sort of big door push, they're just going to hard rush this middle point. And I like what they're doing. They're going to exchange those Ubers around the second point. They need to block it though, Fenrir. You need to get on it. Fenrir is on it. There's a massive backup going on. And I think they can hold this for long enough. Yes, they can. As the backup now completes, as Wolf has to hit the shot, he gets the shot onto Hildred. That is an absolutely massive shot from the Swedish soldier, shooting that guy out of the air. And we can see the immediate follow-up backup coming out as Permzilla himself sitting there on that second point. Gonna jump out, go for the medic, gets one shot, gets two, gets three, and Shifty immediately drops to the floor. Permzilla and Wolf showing that they're players of a high caliber here, Spin.
That's an absolutely fantastic sort of sequence of events from them. It's really such a shame that they're now back to square one on their second point with an Uber advantage after all of that. But yeah, the back cap and defending second with Uber was perfectly timed, really well played from them, and it's just a shame that in the DM it came down to Furbo Pandas kind of winning it and getting the midpoint back.
Well played so far from both teams. We can see like the sort of core seems to be winning from Furbo Pandas, but the individual plays at the moment really landing in favor of Did I Stutter. And as a caster, Spin, I'm going to tell you, that usually proves for a very, very good game. 75% on Did I Stutter. And again, it's what we saw on the second point. They know when they have a clear advantage that even without an Uber, they can make plays. They showed it earlier, they show it now, and now with the Uber advantage, they're going to be knocking on the second door here.
Yeah, a team that can push without Uber really is like the sort of mark of a good team. That's like something when you don't have to revolve around being invincible to push. It's it's really great. So seeing these teams play these kind of aggressive strats where they just try and bully the teams out is really good. And the Uber's actually forced on second as Furbo Pandas come in to defend. They've actually got the point in like a clutch defense there. The soldiers, the medic for Did I Stutter is completely caught out and he does go down. So Furbo Pandas just showing that they can match up with the best of them as well, and they've done exactly the same thing as Did I Stutter did on their second point, and so yeah, fair play to them. They're going to get this midpoint, and yeah, really well played.
Wolf coming from underneath. Can he do it? Can he not do it? Jumping up now. Here's the call. Wolf goes for the medic, gets one rocket, but is not going to be able to land the second one. As Shifty serves away from that, being half health or so. Clear advantage here, and again, the Furbo Pandas proving again there's very little holes in their defense unless you do something individually magnificent, let's put it that way, right? And we saw the Rainbow Queens on Monday struggling with that. They really had a hard time breaking through that one. And Furbo Panda so far, the individual plays are there from Did I Stutter, but they're still holding on barely every single time. They seem to have their stuff planned out, and they seem to be ready for everything. Now on 85%, this last push is going to happen. I see the Pyro though. Pyro heavy. I guess it's perfect for holding off like this 15% disadvantage that they have, right? Like it's perfect to just have them there, but
yeah, it's just to secure the Uber, make sure that they have the time just to pick up the final few percentages. Because obviously, like you see now, they come in early with the Uber to try and pick off, and they actually get a load of cap time on the point before the Ubers are even popped. So it's really well played by Furbo Pandas, and they're just going to back out and try and recycle here. So one scout actually getting to sneaky completely unseen. He's going to jump straight onto the point, and he's going for the medic, but there's so many people on point. But the recycle play from Furbo Pandas, this is the kind of play that I've seen from them in PCW, and it's really great. And Hildreth with a double pipe on the end just finishes off the remaining 2 players and takes the cap. So yeah, an impressive push from Furbo Pandas, and quite good to see. I think it's just coming down to both teams kind of have their game plan sorted, and it's just going to come down to the execution, which is good. It's nice to see 2 teams who actually are well structured rather than sort of a bit more of a random play that we had in the last game.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look at what's going to happen on this middle so far. Both medics running regular Ubers, and both players, everyone seems to be very keen on being aggressive here. A lot of players jumping across the point, and Hildreth is the first massive death that is happening throughout this middle. So for 5 versus 5, but now the Furbo Panda shifting into next gear. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, and they get 4 as well, but a triple from Zoob as the Finnish soldier steps it up once again like we saw 2 days ago. And Funkadelic now on his own, standing on that rock area, jumping back all the way. If he can stay alive, they might be able to just get a force in early or something like that, but I don't think the guy, like, he's just going to stick you up the last. I was wondering if he was going to jump in there and get a force down, but they're just going to try and hold on to this last point in an Uber versus no Uber scenario. That's a tough one to do, because what we've seen Hildreth and the rest of his team do, getting Furbo is actually a big deal, because you usually see like the scout rush with a Delman Uber from the side. 1 scout less is obviously ×2 less on the point. So let's see how the Furbo Pandas are going to play this out. They're going to come in, top right-hand side. They get the damage done, but Butnose holding them out there quite nicely. And again, imagine if there were 2 scouts there instead of 1. That would have been a lot easier, but Sideshow again, that ×2 is always fooling me, as Sideshow jumps on the point with the pain train. And now we can see Hildreth coming in on the side. It's in 4 versus 3, not decided whatsoever yet, but Permzilla only on 110 HP. Wolf gets the pick though. Wolf gets a double onto Zub and Furbo, but Hildreth is still somewhere around as Hildreth manages to get the pick onto Wolf. Drops all the way back though, is going to play it safe. And in an Uber versus no Uber scenario, you do hold on. It's very impressive play.
Yeah, crucially, Shifty stayed up then, so they do have the Uber advantage again, push on to last. They're not going to look. They're going to look to try and hold second without having to use their Uber here. In fact, I think this is quite a smart play from Did I Stutter, because they know that they have the Uber disadvantage. They need to try and waste some of their time. So getting second would be perfect. Permzilla with a massive pistol in midair, taking down Hildreth at choke. So he's going to delay them a little bit, but losing 2 scouts for it is really going to hurt them. And I think Shifty's just going to look to push straight away with the Uber. Yep. They know they have a small advantage. They're going to come in and try and pick the medic before the Uber comes out from Did I Stutter. He's really backing up defensive, and this is where Furbo Pandas are going to look to try and secure the point. Sticky's on the point though, and they're just rushing the demo in the water, and pretty much fantastically executed play. So yeah, well played from Furbo Pandas. They knew what they needed to do. They had the Uber advantage, forced the medic out of the point. Focus the demo on the point to get rid of the stickies, and then just overwhelm them with their numbers.
They focused the right players, didn't they, Spinach? Focused the demo men down, and that whole advantage that they had is immediately thrown out the window. They can push on from there with those stickies, with those sort of movement impairing things. Lying on the floor, trying to spike you to death, that's not going to happen anymore. But now in this third middle, stuff is probably going to change. Look at the aggression that Did I Stutter is showing. It's not really working for them so far, but there's a lot of low health players on the Blues. Look at that. If someone manages to walk onto 1 sticky, they're dead, but it's not going to happen. Hildreth on 20 HP, still surviving, just barely out of there. And it was mainly unlucky, I think, there for Did I Stutter, more so than anything that they ended up losing up middle.
A little, but I'd like to really commend Furbo Pandas there. Sideshow came up through the drop down just as they were all weak and split the focus. So as he did so, like the 3 or 4 of their team had to turn around to try and deal with him. He actually picked the medic and pretty much saved a couple of 2 or 3 players from his team. So he's actually done a really, really good job coming up. The timing of his entrance through the drop down was really good. So again, they're looking just to push on to last point with their Uber, and I think it's going to be a similar story, to be honest. Although this Pyro is doing a great job now. He had a nice couple of air blasts, but he's taken down quickly by the scout after that. It's just coming down to this fight on the top right, and if Furbo Pandas drop out here, they're taking a lot of damage. It's really great work from Wolf. And wow, I mean, what can you say? Sideshow showing that his pain train work again and again.
That pain train, like this is the thing. We were sort of we got fooled by a pain train backup a couple of times on Monday, and now I see ×4 on the point. I'm like, how did they miss 2 scouts? And it's just freaking Sideshow standing there, man. That
you got 3 scouts,
train.
man.
that Pain Train roaming soldier seems to really work out for Furbo Pandas. Their strategy revolves around it. Obviously the middle, like here, it's not going to work out, but Sideshow's just going to bomb in, and it looks like Stutter is going to be able to pick up their first middle here very clearly as they get a 3-for-0 exchange. Sideshow's going to see if he can do something, but he just walks into Wolf as he completes his triple.
Yeah, it was a really great middle from them. They just took the aggressive stance, walking up the right side, and picked off the scout really early. Wolf coming up, cleans up another 2, and then a further player on the as they push for a choke. Shifty went down as well in that push, so you know, we're seeing the reverse this time, then push on to last with the Uber advantage. And we know on Gully Wash, the distance between last and mid really isn't that great, so having an Uber disadvantage is pretty massive. Rock just trying to take a snipe on the riverside. Misses the shot, and they're just not going to waste any time with the Uber now. Coming in, 2 soldiers bombing onto the left side to try and pick the medic. Medic goes down. Furbo also taken down in the process, and the demo Hildrip is just sitting in the water right now, so they're just going to clean up frags, and he's going to get overwhelmed just sitting in that water. So as he does, scouts come down, and that's a really great push from them. So fair play. They take a round back, and maybe they're not so out of this game. They were looking like they were being a little bit dominated there by Furbo Pandas, but yeah, big answer there. So definitely. Yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah, the first round very close, and then the second and third round, clear win, straight after the middle. Clear win for the Furbo Pandas, and now straight after the middle, a clear win for Stutter. The middles are going to be absolutely crucial throughout this entire game, ladies and gentlemen. We have 18 minutes left on the clock. There's a 3-1 lead for the Blues at the moment. Funkadelic gets pressured by a scout there, gets shot down by Serbian Rock, as Rock now goes down. Buttnose also drops to the floor, and Furbo Pandas are going to pick this one up. Can they keep Fenrir alive? It looks like that is going to be no problem whatsoever. They do lose Wolf in the process. Linus is on the medic, takes down Shifty, and that is not the first time that Shifty dies at the very end of middles. Like, we've seen this a couple of times before. We've seen it now. Fenrir needs to stay alive. It is absolutely crucial. And as Permzilla takes down Sideshow, that looks to be confirmed. The question is, how aggressive are they going to hold second? Are they going to do the same as in the first round? Yes, they are, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that spin. The aggressive sort of hold that they keep doing. Can they pick off Hildred? That would actually be a massive deal if they could, but I guess they can't. They should be able to pick up that scout for free, though.
Honestly, that's a largely wasted Uber. I thought they were just going to do the same as they did in the first round and just push straight out with the aggression. They didn't really need to use the Uber. I think they just tried to pick up a few frags, but Furbo Panda's doing really well to just back out with the choke and keep everybody up. Scout's just rushing through choke straight onto Hildrip, but he's taking a lot of damage. He's going to try and back out on Big Door. Furbo trying to clean him up, but not able to. So the flank's still intact for both teams at the moment. And actually, sorry, as I say that, Rock did go down, and Wolf, the huge bomb comes out from him onto Shifty. Gets the pick, and as he goes down, but it's obviously a great trade for the Roma to pick a medic. So
a pocket advantage, actually, surprisingly.
Well, yeah, pocket playing Roma like Harblue getting the nomination for Roma of the season this pocket, and yeah, so advantage goes to Did I Stutter?
Have a little bit of a look at how are they going to push this one. It looks like they're going to go through choke. That is not surprisingly, but can they manage to not use the Uber? That is always a crucial one. Hildred has stickies, we all know that. The question is where and how effective is the roaming bomb going to be? Furbo Panda's very passive. Hildred's still sitting in there. He is spamming. Fenrir catches one pipe straight in the face. Gonna hold this one, catch the map back, and exactly this is what we're going to look for. And now we see the forward Uber coming in through that choke very aggressively. Can the Furbo Pandas manage to drop out of this one? Barely in time. It looks like they're doing a good job so far. Still no kills. They need to stack that point like hell, but I can bet your ass there are 6 Blues rampaging to the second point. Gonna try and pick themselves some players off. It's not gonna happen though. And whilst the Furbo Pandas did good at retreating, they like stuck doing pretty much the exact same thing, just getting the hell out of there barely in time.
Honestly, that was a little bit of another waste to do, but they used it for a choke, and I think it's just a bit of miscommunication between the medic and the soldiers. So he didn't know that he didn't need to use it, and although the force on choke, a middle, Sideshow's bomb was a little bit mistimed, which is the first time I can say that about his roaming play. His roaming play has been generally pretty solid. And at the moment, we've just got this war of attrition. One team wants to push in without using the Uber, and they're going to have to use it, but they've used it really late, which is good for them. They're going to get the cap and be able to move on to second with it. The bomb comes in from Zoob. He's just going to try and get in behind, so a little bit of roaming play from their pocket. But the counter bomb comes in from Wolf, and he picks up 2 frags. Really great. The medic and demo dropping down for Furbo Pandas. And that was fantastic defense from them. Again, that's kind of aggressive defense where Wolf just bombs into him in the choke point, and yeah, really great play. So he picks up a load of frags. Sideshow the only one up, and if they can, you see if he can make anything happen. I actually don't. No, it's been taken down. As I say that, so Linus gets the final frag, and that's a full team wipe for Furbo Pandas.
Yeah, I think this was the first time, like, we casted them on Monday to Furbo Pandas. This is the first time we saw them take a risk and actually make the wrong call, Spin. Like, every time they took a risk and they put themselves out of position, it was the right call on Monday, which gave them the victory. Now, very clear that Stutter, they were coordinated, they were prepared, they wrecked them. Completely wrecked them. And Did I Stutter now with a slight Uber advantage, probably just going to be looking to build this one off and push last in a 6 versus 6 scenario. Is Linus going to pick up a heavy or something like that? I doubt it, but with Sideshow going down, they might be looking to push right now already.
Now, just onto the normal soldier for Linus, so yeah, they're just playing this kind of standard turtling play on last, but they've Ubered through main, which is the closest route, and forced the Uber, but it's a bit late, and they've lost 2 players to do it, so Demo and Soldier go down for Did I Stutter, and the combo is very weak now. They're just going to try and back up and try not to lose any more players. The scouts are both with a medic, so he's pretty safe for now, and yeah, they're just going to back out, Uber v Uber again. And not a great deal achieved in that push, and they've lost 3, so in fact Furbo Pandas are going to try and take control a second, which they have done so far. 1 scout sitting on the choke point, but it looks like they may try and contest this. They haven't got the pressure that they need on the choke to stop this happening.
So out of position though, Spin. They kill Hildreth, and this might completely backfire to Furbo Pandas. Let's be completely honest there, as I don't think Furbo Pandas was expecting them to come in there that late with that much of a disadvantageous position, but they did it anyway. Very ballsy move, times 8 on the point, stacking it like mad. And you know what the thing is? Did I Stutter has a massive advantage. I don't even think they know, but they're dot pushing it anyway, and I think Shifty's just gonna die here.
And they do pick him off in the fight, so Wolf getting 2 great frags as well as Linus 1. So they take 3 players down, and it's not looking great for Furbo Pandas on this hold. Hildreth is in his common position on the point to see if he can make anything happen, but the bomb comes in over the top from one of the soldiers. Linus picks him off, and yeah, great play from them. So again, it's that sort of aggression, really smart play from them. They see that Hildreth doesn't have the pressure on choke point, and he's actually capping the point, and they just walk in. So 2 scouts Demo coming through choke, catch Hildreth off guard, and it's a pick, and they move on to last with the Uber advantage. So yeah, really well played from Did I Stutter. They've done a great job there, and hopefully they can continue. This is becoming quite a close game.
Glances of brilliance is what I can see so far. 3-2 still in favour of the Furbo Pandas, but this one can really get close and closer as the bomb comes in. Sideshow gets shot down. Wolf with a massive air shot off the Zoom, and then it's both soldiers down at the moment. 1 soldier still alive on the battlefield at the moment, and this is going to be a clutch if I've ever say one, as Hildreth picks up 2 with the pipes and the grenades, managing to pick up a double. Actually, the sticky pipes and grenades are the exact same thing, Pledge. What are you talking about? As the stickies and the pipes are both going to land. Hildreth really cleaning house there for his team. Very well played by the guy. And what we've seen, the second and third round, Spin, I'd like to take your memory a little bit back. The second and third round, they won the middle, and within no time they were on last, and they took the round. Are we going to see the exact same thing? Or is Did I Stutter going to pull something out of the bag, something different, something that stops them right in their tracks?
Well, the difference is here is that they've actually managed to set up on second before they can get the pressure on with the Uber. So the Uber comes out, but it's a great force, to be honest, by Linus. So Linus just wasting their Uber advantage, and they will get second point, I imagine. Although Did I Stutter is ready to push out if they need to now. They've got a lot of people on the point, so just deny them that chance of capping, or sorry, defending. So Did I Stutter back on last, but they've got a full 80% Uber advantage. They may look to push out. I'd like to see them look to push out, but I think honestly they're going to just be defensive with it. And as I say that, they proved me completely wrong. So the bomb comes in from Sideshow to force the Uber. He's done a great job there, like just making sure that they can't Uber out through the main door. And in fact, Furbo Pandas just playing very cautiously all the way back out. They may lose this cap, but they have the Uber advantage to push on to second. So honestly, I'm not sure whether it's worth losing, just taking an Uber advantage for the point, but that's what they've opted for. So back to pretty much the same situation as we were in after the mid-fight.
Question is, are they gonna bomb or are they not? Like, we see teams, it looks like, yeah, Did I Stutter is actually gonna suicide a couple of players in here. We've seen this from time to time. There's certain teams that love suiciding players and to get that force. That's exactly what happens. And actually, just 1 died. I thought I saw 2 or 3 players rushing in there, but it was just Linus, so it's very well played by Did I Stutter, exchanging a roaming soldier for that Uber charge, and that's, again, very well played. Fenrir's Uber, almost 85%. They know Did I Stutter likes to do this, right? They're sitting on last this time around, but they're going to be ready to push as soon as that Uber hits, which it does right now. And with the second push coming up, Spin, what is the thing that Did I...
Oh, wow.
Are they actually going to get back up by the pain train Sideshow again?
So, I have no idea how that happened, because I saw him come up top. He jumped up to the riverside, and they saw him, spammed a couple of rockets and so at him, and then he just went behind and capped. So everyone that must have just been a lapse in communication from them, a bit of a lapse in focus, and everybody thought someone else was dealing with it, and he's just
Could have
gone
been
in
a
and taken the
confident
point pretty
scout
much
as
for
well,
free.
right? Like, it could have been a scout saying, I got him, no worries, and just not got him, right? Like, that
course.
happens from time to time as well. As we can see right now, Did I Stutter getting the first pick again onto Sideshow, but with Linus going down, Zoop goes down again, 3 soldiers down at the start of the middles, but this time around, Hildred not going to be able to play the cleanup game, as they get a solid exchange, but the Furbo Pandas got to be able to keep their medic Shifty alive, and that is something that's going to prove to be very, very valuable to them. 4-2 is the scoreline. You need to sort of waste time in this scenario. If you're not in a capping position, wasting time by just having Ubers and not letting them get momentum, by not letting them get a couple of rounds just in a row really, really quickly, that's the best way of just holding that lead for as long as you possibly can. Both teams now on Uber. I don't see anything weird, Spin. I see a heavy, but that is pretty much it. And that's not weird to me.
Yeah, nothing surprising. I guess, yeah, they're just going to try and play defensive, and it's really important at this stage in the game. So there's only 9 minutes remaining, and after the mid-fight, you don't want to lose your medic and give away a quick round, which is the kind we've seen in this game and the previous officials that I've watched on Gullywatch. So they're pretty smart. Shifty gets out with the 2 scouts. They call it early that they've lost the middle, and yeah, made the right call. So now they're ready to defend last, and it's just going to be both teams trying to poke, see if they can get a pick before the fight comes in. Linus going in for the bomb doesn't really make anything happen, although there's a lot of stickies and pipes coming in onto the medic. Someone needs to clear these on the top left. Someone's gonna regret not clearing all that up, I'm sure. In fact, the Uber's gonna come out from Furbo Pandas first into the lobby. Almost picks off Wolf. He goes down to I think 6 HP before he's Ubered by his medic. So a little bit of luck from him, but a great clutch Uber, of course.
It was all planned. It was all planned, but...
Yeah, no worries. I'm sure he knew exactly how much that second rocket was going to do. So
he asked for his medic to flash him as soon as he was 6 HP. That was all planned. Don't worry about it. As right now, Did I Stutter's doing the rotate game, pretty much what Furbo Pandas usually does. They're rotating to Riverside here, and they're going to try and get some stuff done. But it is a hard choke point to push through, ladies and gentlemen. And one death, one casualty can be completely detrimental to the position that Did I Stutter have right now. You got to keep in mind, you have not a lot of time left anymore. 8 or so minutes, and that is literally it. 7 minutes and 40 seconds to be precise. If right now you mess up and you immediately get pushed back to middle to your second point, you're in so much trouble, and it's going to be very tough to actually get this done. So it looks like Did I Stutter? Yeah, they're going to go balls deep now on Riverside. Both soldiers jumping in, getting onto that point. It gets sticky. You need a pain train, Wolf, in order to make that happen as both soldiers get shot down. And Fenrir and even Funkadelic a little bit overextending here. Sideshow does get shot down. Zubna comes in the top though. Funkadelic goes down. And the horror situation I was talking about, it looks like that's about to happen. Unless Buttnose can get the pick onto Rock here, that might prove very, very valuable to the guy. But Buttnose running onto last here, 3 times on the cap. There's a heavy onto last. Buttnose sees him. Buttnose is going to try. Can he shoot down the heavy? It's not going to happen as Furbo shoots the guy down. And Did I Stutter now very, very much on the back foot. Up against an Uber advantage. Up against a fully charged blue team, as in Fissure, like with 6 players, let's put it that way. And Furbo Pandas, I don't think they're going to play defensive on this whatsoever, Spin.
Yeah, they're going to just try and force them into a defensive position where they have to take fights that they don't want to take. So if they can push them out of mid now, then they can force Did I Stutter to actually have to push mid with a Uber disadvantage or so on. And that's something that is really difficult to do. No team wants to have to do that. And it's 6 minutes left. It's not out of reach at all. They can definitely push in. Which they are looking like they're going to do now, coming in through choke. So there's a scout hiding above. He's been spotted immediately, and surely he's going to get taken down. He's 15 HP in the air, but actually just he gets taken in by the Uber. So really well played from his medic to keep him alive. And Sideshow does go down the flank, but it's not too much of a crucial pick. They can still hold this second point with only 1 player down. Having said that,
through choke, Spin. Oh no! Oh, they tried to Harpers through choke. That's, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't play in high divisions as Spin is, because I would have made the exact same call, and it requires Buttnose and Linus to try and clean up on the flank. They get the pick on Hildred, but it's the only pick they get in the entire Uber versus Uber exchange. And Did I Stutter throwing the game where they were in a really good position to make it 4-3. Right now, it is still 4-2 to the Furbo Pandas, but they exchange from their lost to the enemy lost in a matter of 2 minutes. Very, very quick turnaround there from the players in blue.
Well, they had a decent idea. Sideshow went down, so they had the free flank pretty much, and they had 2 players that got in behind. I think Buttnose and who was it? Wolf? No, Linus. Sorry for the Did I Stutter. So they got in behind, and I think the rest, the combo, just overestimated the amount of like work they were doing, the amount of distraction, and the amount of attention that Furbo Pandas were giving them. So as they pushed in for a choke, in fact, their roamer and scout who was behind pretty much were doing nothing, and they just crushed them at choke. If Furbo Pandas had been focusing on the people behind, which was the plan, then they would have pushed choke like they did, like we saw, I think, in one of the previous rounds, and yeah, it would have turned out a lot differently. So a little bit of luck. I think they overestimated, the impact that their flank was having, and it cost them.
Maybe the flank was a little bit low on health or something as well, which leads stuff to call. And look at that, Hildren and his team, they're not doing anything. They're letting Did I Stutter come out right now with Wolf going down. Did I Stutter obviously not used to being in this scenario, sending in a Pyro. Uber gets popped off, and it is a 6 versus 5 now coming into last with a scout onto Pyro. Can they hold on to this one? Did I Stutter? They're gonna have to try and hold on to this one. So far they're doing okay. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Furbo comes in though. Hildren's gone down, and the Pain Train sideshow on the point again. God, that point capped so fast if there's a roaming souls on there with a Pain Train. I cannot believe how much of a difference that actually makes.
Yeah, that's really well played. And now they're with a 3-point advantage and only 4 minutes remaining. We need to see some really fast rounds from Did I Stutter to get themselves back in this game. And this is exactly what Furbo Pandas want. They know that they have the full pressure on them, so they're going to take all the fights that they have to, and obviously not necessarily the ones they want to.
Let's have a little bit of a look here on middle so far. We see Did I Stutter getting completely cleaned out here. And that's pretty much GG, isn't it, Spin? Like, time-wise, it's not possible. There's no way in hell that this is possible anymore. Unless a ghost from Did I Stutter kills everyone from Furbo Pandas right now. But, apart from Halloween maps, there are no ghosts in Team Fortress 2, as far as I know. So, that's not going to happen. And Furbo Pandas might even look to get some extra caps down. You got to keep in mind, they won 5-3, 6-3 earlier this week. They tied against Team Reverto. Again, if they manage to win everything else, and if Reverto manages to win everything else, it's like obviously there's going to be a playoff, but cap difference is going to decide like home advantage, right? Who can pick the first and third map. So obviously looking at that, we're going to have to wait and see how that's going to pan out. They need some extra caps for that. They're going to try and get one here. Uber versus no Uber. Linus goes down, Buttonose goes down, Permzilla goes down, and with everyone dropping to the floor from Did I Stutter, slowly but surely, it is going to be a 6-3 here for the Furbo Pandas, and that is a good result for them, definitely.
We might even see a 7-2 5-win difference. Should be a shame, because it wouldn't reflect how the game's going. But having said that, Furbo Pandas definitely look the more dominant team. The team strategies have been pretty decent from both teams. Like, there's a lot of coordination, like I said, with that failed one on the flank there. You know, they had an idea, tried to execute it, and it just didn't work out for them. And I think Furbo Pandas are just having the superior execution when it comes down to it. 2 frags early on this middle. It stands them in good stead, to be honest, to try and take this 7-2. So they're going to get this cap. There's one soldier, I think, behind. Has he gone down? He has, yeah. So it's just the demo and the soldier up. And in fact, I think, yeah, they're just going to clean them up and go straight on to second. So it's a full team wipe. And with 2 minutes remaining, it wouldn't be surprising to see this go to 7-2.
No, it's probably even going to go to 7-2. And really, as you said, Spin, completely accurate. It doesn't really reflect the way the game has been playing. I would say that Furbo Pandas is the better team. Obviously, if they weren't, 7-2 would not have been an option. But to say that Did I Stutter played bad, they made some mistakes, but in all honesty, they didn't play bad. I've seen teams play a lot worse on cast, I can tell you that. Did I Stutter are going to try and hold on for their dear lives to not let the 5 gap difference make any sort of an impact here. Is it going to happen, though? It is a 5 versus 5, 5 versus 4, 5 versus 3, 5 versus 2 versus 3 now suddenly. Wait, what? Have I been scouting suddenly? I just looked to the side, and suddenly it is 3 versus 3, but Mr. Sideshow comes in, and with one rocket takes down 3, and is going to close that one out for his team. 7-2, ladies and gentlemen, for the Furbo Pandas.
That's just a difference in momentum, man. Like, what, it was 3-2, and then suddenly from 3-2 to 7-2, so... Yeah, what can you say? I mean, they got a couple of quick rounds and they just fell apart. Really, it's a bit of a shame because they were playing really well, and it was looking like a really close game at 3-2. So, yeah, fair play to Furbo Pandas. They've come up with the goods, and yeah, they've come out with a really commanding performance in the first win. It stands them in good stead to have the right attitude to win the second.
Is there anything special we should be expecting on Snakewater?
I guess it's going to be more of the same like we saw yesterday. Furbo Pandas, like I said, they like to play this reactive middle, so I imagine we're going to see that kind of play where they're waiting for the aggressive soldiers, Linus, maybe a Wolf, and try and pick them off, and they are very good at doing that. So, you know, it was the same kind of strategy they employed against Rainbow Queens, and It worked out for them there. I could see it working out for them again.
Snakewater seems a very solid map for the Furbo Pandas. We're going to have to see how they're going to do. They looked a little bit shaky, ladies and gentlemen. 3-2 in favor of them. Then 4-2, but pushed all the way to the last. They turned it around and didn't let a single cap go the other way anymore. 7-2 now for the Furbo Pandas. On that first map, Gully Wash. Very well played by them so far. Second map, Snakewater's coming up. Can Did I Stutter pull it back and pull a tie out of the bag? Or can they not it? And Furbo Pandas is going to go home with another 6-0 this week. Is it going to happen or is it not, ladies and gentlemen? Stay tuned to Team Fortress TV. We'll be right back here with the second map between Furbo Pandas and Did I Stutter with Pledge and Spin on CP Snakewater.